Okay, hello, my name is Jaiden Campbell, and this is my final video reflection the of the course. My ID number is A01832150, and this is my ID. Okay. My major is landscape architecture. That's my major back home in Canada. And here I'm studying in the College of Architecture at the campus in Guadalajara. So, to start off with the first question, what are the three most challenging aspects of the collaborative project? I would say that the first difficult aspect was trying to meet with our group members on a time that worked for everyone. You know, everyone in our group was at a different campus and had a different schedules and times for classes. And so trying to think of or get a time that worked for everyone so that we could work on the project was one kind of hurdle that we had to kind of jump over. Another thing would be that we didn't have a lot of time together. So even though we would find time to, to talk and stuff, we never really had a lot of time because people were going in and out of classes. And so we kind of were forced to make quick decisions, I guess. And, if we had spent more time talking through the project, I'm sure that the results of our projects could have been better. But I guess we didn't spend as much time as we could have going back and forth trying to work out maybe certain problems or thinking a little bit deeper about aspects of the project. The third most challenging thing for me with the collaborative project was probably the division of the work. One thing about this project is, as we're working through it, you might give one person the first part and then the second person another part, and you would keep going. But if the person who has to complete a part above your part or before your part, if they didn't maybe do the work very well, or if they didn't do it very early, then you might have to wait to try and get your part done. And at times we would get crunched to the close to the deadline to try and finish everything in time, because the earlier stages of the project weren't, I guess, finished in a very timely manner. So those would be the three biggest difficulties that I had with, or challenges with, the collaborative project. And then the thing that I learned the most, or that was the most interesting to me in this course, was, well, that's really, I guess, the basis of the course, which is why I took the course in the first place, which is macro thinking. I've never really thought about macro trends. And that's one thing that, especially in the beginning of the course when we were getting introduced to the idea of macro trends, it was really interesting to kind of see how the ideas or the decisions that we take now could have a very different it could have a very different result than we might expect if we don't take into account the way that the world is changing. And so that idea that the decisions that we make today should be based on the most plausible future on a large scale makes a lot of sense, so that we're not only planning for now, but we're also thinking about the big picture, from an economical standpoint, from an environmental standpoint, a social and cultural standpoint, all these different standpoints and these different kind of factors that integrate in together, which create, well, they create our life. And so just that new perspective, I would say, is the biggest thing that I learned, and something that I'm really happy about, I guess, because it's given me um, a different lens that I can use to try and analyze the decisions that I make in my daily life. So, thank you.